Hello everyone, tonight we travel far beyond the familiar shores to a place where maps fade into whispers and sailors hesitate to speak its name, an island that appears only when the mist clears, an island that locals claim is frozen outside the flow of time. This is the story of the abandoned island, where time stands still. The first mention of the island comes from centuries old journals kept by sailors who navigated the trade routes across the vast seas. These writings describe a strange landmass that would sometimes appear on the horizon, though none could agree on its exact location. Some swore it shifted like a phantom, one day closer to the equator, the next near colder waters. When sailors tried to mark it on charts, their ink would smear, their compasses spun in circles, and their hourglasses seemed to slow, as if reluctant to measure the time spent near the island. Legends claim the island was once home to a thriving civilization, one with towering stone structures, roads carved into the rock, and gardens that bloomed with fruits unseen elsewhere. But what doomed them remains unclear. Some stories say the island's rulers defied the gods, others that a strange celestial event disrupted the natural order and condemned the land to eternal stagnation. The sun rises but never seems to move, shadows stretch but never shorten, winds stir but never change direction. Explorers who claimed to set foot on the island described eerie details. They reported clocks halting at the moment they arrived, pendulums ceasing their swings, and even the steady rhythm of their own heartbeat feeling irregular, as if caught between moments. One explorer wrote that his candle flame froze in mid-flicker, the wax still and unmoving, though the light continued to glow. He fled before nightfall, but when he returned to his ship, he discovered that 3 weeks had passed, though to him it had felt like only a few hours. The island's strange power seems to affect more than just time. It twists memory itself. Survivors often return confused, unable to recount what they saw. Some insist they were gone days, while others claim mere minutes. Their testimonies contradict each other, yet all agree on one chilling detail. The silence on the island is absolute. No birds call, no insects hum, the sea crashes against the rocks. But on the shore there is nothing, only the suffocating weight of stillness. As the world itself is holding its breath. Somewhere deep within the island lies a ruined city. The stone buildings remain eerily preserved without signs of decay. Doorways open into houses where tables are still set with bowls and cups, but covered in dust. Statues stand with eyes carved so lifelike that some swear they follow intruders as they pass. There are no skeletons, no remains of any inhabitants, as though the people themselves were swallowed by time, leaving only their world behind, frozen in an eternal moment. Sailors tell of cursed expeditions to the island, entire crews vanishing without trace. Ships discovered drifting, empty food supplies, untouched logs, abruptly ending with the final words, "We have anchored at the island." Beyond that silence, years later, when new crews stumble upon these derelict ships, they find the wood preserved, as though decades had not touched it, sails unstained, rope unfrayed, the vessels just as they were on the day they vanished, locked in the same timeless grip. Scientists have attempted to explain the legend. Some suggest the island lies near an anomaly in Earth's magnetic field. Others speculate it is the result of a rare geological phenomenon, perhaps gases or minerals affecting perception and memory. Yet no one has offered a theory that explains frozen flames, unmoving clocks, or the disappearance of entire crews. Technology fares no better. Cameras jam, batteries drain quickly, and watches stop ticking. Once explorers reach the shore, the island does not welcome intruders. There are tales of strange figures spotted between the trees, figures that do not move like living beings, their gestures slow, mechanical, their forms pale, as though carved from the same stone that makes up the ruins. Some claim these are the lost inhabitants, trapped forever in a half state, neither alive nor dead. Others believe they are guardians, remnants of whatever force holds the island in its frozen grip. The most unsettling accounts speak of hearing whispers, not carried by wind, but rising from the ground itself. Explorers describe voices that speak in languages unknown, some soothing, some urgent, all pressing against the mind until the listener feels they are losing their grip on reality. One group of scholars who attempted to record the sounds brought their equipment back to the mainland, only to find the tapes entirely blank. Yet those who listened while on the island swore they heard countless voices speaking all at once. And then there is the matter of time lost. Those who return often discover that the world has changed around them. Some leave the island believing they have been gone only a night, only to return and find that decades have passed. Families grudge Old nations transformed the island, steals not only hours but entire lifetimes from those who dare trespass. Others claim the reverse, that they spent months on the island, yet when they returned only a few moments had passed in the real world. This paradox has led some to believe the island is not merely cursed, but exists outside our reality, entirely, perhaps a fragment of another dimension, bleeding into ours, or a place where the rules of time were shattered long ago. Some whisper it is a prison not for its people, but for something older, something that required a land to be cut away from the flow of existence to ensure it never walked freely again. And still the island waits. It appears and disappears without pattern, sometimes sighted by passing ships, sometimes found only by those who seek it too desperately. Stories say if you stand on the cliffs of the mainland during a full moon, you can sometimes see it across the water, glowing faintly in the mist, like a mirage calling travelers closer. But the wise do not answer that call. For those who do rarely return. The island's mystery only deepens with every retelling, for though it seems to resist human presence, there are always those who cannot resist its call. Throughout history, countless expeditions have been launched both openly and in secret. Explorers, sailors, even governments have attempted to claim the island for study or power. Each time the result has been silence. Vessels vanish, records, and abruptly leaving behind nothing but questions and a chilling awareness that the island does not wish to be known. One of the most disturbing tales comes from a logbook recovered from a half-sunken ship, found drifting near the supposed location of the island. The entries begin in a steady professional hand, noting the date, location, and weather. But as the crew neared the island, the handwriting grew erratic. The times listed became nonsensical, at one point recording the same hour 3 times in succession. The final entry was barely legible, scrawled words that read, "The sun will not move, the shadows watch us, we cannot leave." After that, the book ends mid-sentence. Survivors, if they can be called, that often return changed. They describe dreams that do not belong to them, visions of the ruined city alive, with people who do not blink or breathe, yet continue about their lives endlessly. They speak of hearing bells tolling, though no churches stand, of seeing fires burning without smoke, of watching the ocean itself freeze in place for a heartbeat before resuming its endless tide. Some refuse to speak of what they saw at all, their silence more terrifying than their words. The ruins themselves are said to hold secrets deeper than stone. One story tells of an underground chamber discovered beneath a cracked plaza, a stairway descending into the earth where torches line the walls, their flames frozen motionless yet glowing eternally within the chamber. Explorers found a vast circular mechanism, gears and rings interlocked like the parts of a colossal clock, but unmoving, as though the device itself had been caught in the same temporal trap. Theories suggest it may have been a machine built by the lost civilization, either to control time or to contain it, and perhaps it was their tampering that condemned the island forever. Legends among near-by coastal people tell of offerings made to the island generations ago. Fishermen would cast gifts of food into the sea when the island appeared, hoping to appease whatever force ruled there. Others would strike bells on the shore to mimic the sounds heard from across the water, as a warning to their children not to sail too close to the glow in the mist. Some believe these rituals were once vital to maintaining balance, and that when they were forgotten, the island grew restless, drifting further into mystery. What makes the island most terrifying is not only what it holds, but what it implies. If such a place exists suspended outside of time, then what else lies hidden in the corners of the world? Are there other lands where the natural laws collapse, where days stretch into centuries or minutes last forever? Some scientists whisper of parallel realities. Others speak of tears in the fabric of existence, but those are only words, and the island does not explain itself. It only waits, silent, patient, eternal. In recent years, modern technology has again tried to pierce its veil. Satellites have captured faint outlines of land where no islands should be, appearing in one image, but absent in the next. Drones sent toward those coordinates lose signal entirely, their last frames showing only a heavy curtain of mist, as if the air itself rejects observation. Yet despite failure after failure, there are always new adventurers who swear they will uncover the truth, some driven by greed for lost treasure, others by the simple hunger to solve a mystery that defies reason. The truth is that those who chase the island rarely return, and those who do find no peace. Their lives are haunted by disjointed memories, by clocks that stop unexpectedly in their homes, by dreams of frozen flames, and Endless silence. Some become obsessed, searching old maps, journals, and myths, convinced they can find their way back. Others fear sleep itself, certain that if they close their eyes they will wake again upon the still shores of that timeless place. The abandoned island remains both legend and warning, a reminder that the world is vast and filled with places we are not meant to claim. It stands as a testament to our limited understanding of time, of memory, of existence itself. Perhaps the island is not abandoned at all. Perhaps it is simply waiting for the right moment to reveal why it was severed from the current of the world. Until then it drifts, appearing and disappearing forever, whispering to the curious, daring them to step into a place where time stands still.